Hello, everyone. We want to take a moment because we're taking a moment in time to talk about the Teamsters who are not very friendly and not very nice, who live off jealousy, abuse, and womanizing. Apparently, that's the message. That might be the message from Kamala Harris. I'm not really sure. What I want to bring awareness into attention that most poor people, I'm laughing at that because I'm a poor person and I work middle class jobs and I love middle class jobs, and I've also been surrounded by wealthy sick people like Democrats and wealthy Republicans who are mentally stable in my lifetime. I want to really reiterate that I've been around mentally ill Democrats who are wealthy and rich, wealthy Republicans in the same setting as well. So, for example, in '97, I worked for a very lucrative business that was full of wealthy individuals that I never paid attention to. How I'm talking the people that like the Trump style existers, okay, like George Bush, that style of customer. And then I worked there for 10 years and it was like talking to normal people. The problem is the jealousy of the Democrats of what the Republicans have, because they have an ability to reach people like they're normal people. And don't get me wrong, there's always a concern that's just natural in business. You're not always going to like what they have to say, but I have federal agents also bossing me around. But I also notice when I get bossed around, things get done. The other thing that I want to bring into awareness is that not only are the Democrats of wealthy, when they took over that particular property, the energy turned into a style of Democrat that like literally made me want to puke when I stepped on property. So as Teamsters, it's absolutely baffling to me that you would fall for this shit. That you've been falling for this shit for years. Because they schmooze you like snake oil salesmen. And I also want to bring into attention more money, more problems. And not everybody deserves to be a leader. And you have to figure out a way to experience life as a purposeful life. And it's not always involved in money. And I assure you, if the wrong people with Democrat status get money, and they shouldn't have money, like Addie Ray or Charlie D'Amelio, who is a Democrat supporter, a liberal, we are in big fucking trouble. So that's why you need the square box of a Republican. See, most people who are poor don't really understand how big business works. So when they say tax cuts, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be delivering in business. See, this is a very economical conversation that needs to be had. In order for a rich Republican to help a poor Democrat, he's got to have money. It's how businesses thrive. A lot of people look at these people who have a lot of money and they think, well, gosh, you have so much money. Share some for me. But you don't know how to manage money because you're a Democrat. It's an energy separation of the two. And you never want Democrats in charge, because now you got what Kamala Harris is doing to us, while she's literally showing you how she's lying to your face as she destroys the country. and Mona Van erotically licks an ice cream cone from McDonald's in your face and tells you that it's coconut ice cream, because guess what? Ice cream that is the style of ice cream that she's claiming is homemade would never be poured into a cone like that. She didn't make that ice cream. She bought the ice cream and then gave you a recipe. That's someone else's recipe. So can you take a look at how that is the Democrat way? She lied about the ice cream. She bragged about the ice cream. She implicated about the ice cream. And then she gave you a homemade recipe that she's never made in her life, and then acted like she was delivering on content, while she then expected you to like and love the video or the picture. That's the Democrat way of business. They never have you as the employee in mind. They throw money at the problem. Remember what we said yesterday when it comes to, they use Reagan's outline of business to become actors associated to it, where a Democrat in the world of Kamala Harris, of liberalism, has no self-discipline, has no sense of responsibility, has no work ethic, has no commitment to education and personal improvement. That's why you're not successful. Willingness to defer short-term gains. Willingness is a key. Willingness to defer short-term gains and instant gratification in order to achieve long-term goals. That's why Republicans are Republicans and Democrats are Democrats. If a person lacks those 5 ingredients, he or she is virtually destined for a life of poverty. You do not want someone who parties like Kamala Harris to be a leader of the space, because that means that she's going to allow Sophia Bush to sit with Jean-Pierre and Mona Van at the White House and Kim Kardashian at the White House and Paris Hilton at the White House, and then live the glamour life of people with no high school education. Chelsea Clinton doesn't have a high school education. She literally was spoon-fed her whole life, and then she acts as if she knows everything. That's called status. So it's really incredible to me that you as the Teamsters, because you have been clouded by the mind of a Democrat, you have been less successful in business because the Democrats schmooze you over and never do anything as a result of what they schmooze you over with. But then they schmooze you over again, and they schmooze you over again, and they schmooze you over again with no effing results. You want instant gratification, or do you want long-term goals? 39% of you are still supporting this piece of shit who is a woman and you're a man. You're a fucking man and you are willing to support a Indian, Persian, Jamaican, Canadian with a migrant on top. You gotta be fucking kidding me, is really what I want to say to each and every American out there who literally is disrespecting, screw all the other shit, you're disrespecting yourselves. You do know this Affordable Care Act is giving a free doctorate to someone who's never been to medical school, and then one day you get old, and then now the person who took out the liver instead of the spleen is now doing surgery on you, and you're now 60 years old, and because you are on the Affordable Care Act, he's your doctor, and now you're gone, you're dead, bye. It's the same shit in business. These people are nothing more than schmoozers who've been schmoozing the Teamsters over for years. And you fall for it every time because you like being someone to be nice to you versus actually getting in the grit of the real conversations. Because that's really what it takes. It takes a little disagreeing and hearing things that you're wrong, and you don't like to hear that shit. And Democrats won't tell you you're wrong because that's the schmoozing you over. Hence the word salad bullshit.